Hello friends, today we're going to do something a little bit crafty. You'll notice right here I am wearing a bracelet that I made using rolled paper beads, and I want to show you how I did that and give you some ideas of how you can do it, and also some sort of ideas of other ways you can use the beads and make the beads. So when I did this, I was thinking about you and what you might have available to make the beads. I have a hobby of making jewelry, so I have lots of jewelry making supplies, but I made them as if I didn't have any jewelry making supplies at all. So like these earrings, I made them. Okay, so how did I make these paper beads? Well, I'm gonna take this off. It's a little bit tight. It would probably fit a kid better than me. But here it is, finished. So I had a couple of fails along the way, and that's why I always make something before I tell you to make it, because I want to see what works and what doesn't. And then I also did a little bit of research and watched a couple of videos. One of them I shared is just another example of somebody making paper beads similar to what I'm going to show you. And then I also found out that there's a charity called Beads for Life where women in Uganda are taking recycled paper and making beads and selling them. And I also saw somebody who was a crafter who made paper beads from paintings she didn't like. So if you have a watercolor painting that you would consider a fail and you're not happy with it, but it still has nice colors, I thought that was a clever way to recycle your artwork that maybe you're not 100% happy with, or maybe some of the practice watercolor painting you've done. So there's lots of different directions you can take with this. You can use wrapping paper, newspaper, recycled magazines, and those flyers that you're always getting in the mail. But what I used was a paper bag. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go grab the paper bag so you can see. The paper bag that I used was actually, I got some books from the library from Books on the Go, and picked them up, and then I cut into kind of this strip here. And then I just took one of these little folds and cut it out, okay? So I was working with a piece of paper that's about this big. And my bead triangles are about 2 centimeters by 13 centimeters, but honestly, you can make them any size. You don't have to follow a particular size. Now, if you want them all to be the same size, you're gonna wanna get a ruler to measure. So I measured every 2 inches here, and then I went an inch in and then measured every 2 inches here, and then drew my lines with a ruler so that all my beads would be the same size. Now, if having beads that are all the same size is not important to you and you don't want to sit there and measure, you can just, use the ruler just to make triangles and cut them out. But I wanted mine to sort of be uniform in size. Okay, so let me just, so an individual bead like this. All right, and so these individual beads were made from a strip of paper that looks like this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make one for you and demonstrate how I did it in just a few moments. So there's pictures down below that I took as I did this, because I don't have enough recording time to show you every step, but hopefully the pictures can sort of show you the process. And then I'm going to deconstruct this one so you can see how I put it together in just a few minutes. So I'm going to put this down, and you want to have something to roll the beads on. So this is just a barbecue skewer. I use these a lot in school when we're doing clay. They're inexpensive and they're a very versatile tool. Today we're going to be using them for beads. And I have the bead strips that I cut out. And again, I used a paper bag, and then I just used a marker. Notice I didn't put a lot of color here because that part's going to get covered up as it rolls. So you're going to see like this end part and then the edges. Okay, and again, You can make yours a little bit bigger if you want to, or even smaller. My beads aren't that big. So you're also going to need some glue. Okay, and so what you're going to do when you make the bead is you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to put it so that the color side is on the inside, and of course, I'm sorry, the color is on the outside and the other side is less color. So I'm going to turn it around this way so you can see. Okay, so there's the back, and when I wrap it around, then the color is on the outside. I think that makes better sense than me trying to tell you. Okay, so I'm going to start it again. So I'm going to take it like this. Okay, so this is the back side, and then when you wrap it around, you see the color. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it kind of tight. So I'm going to take it, let me put this in front of the, okay, so I'm going to take it and I'm just going to twist it like this, and I want to try and keep it sort of centered. So what you don't want to do, let me just do it wrong once so you can see what I'm talking about. You don't want it to be crooked like this, because then when you roll it, it's going to go sideways. Okay, see how that's going sideways? You don't do that. Okay, so you want it to go nice and straight. All right, and then you're going to roll it. Okay, roll. You're going to keep your fingers close to keep it tight. And then when you get to where you just have a little, like a little pennant flag sticking out, I'm going to go ahead and take some glue. Here, okay, let me just put it on there and then show you. It's probably the easiest way. Okay, so I just put a little glue on there. Now, as I twirl it around, some of that glue is going to squish out, and I'm just going to rub the glue around the bead when it squishes out. So it's okay. I didn't use a lot of glue, okay? You don't want to use any more than that, okay? You can actually use less if you want. But as I roll it, okay, the glue is starting to squish out and it's on my finger, and I'm just going to take my finger and rub it around like this, rubbing it as I twist it. Okay, and just give it a few twists with the glue on your finger, and then take your finger off, and there's one bead. Okay, so I'm going to do another one real quick here. And again, I'm going to take it, I'm going to go a little quicker this time, and twist it around, twist, twist, twist. It's a little hard to see, but you can see there. I have to keep my fingers on there so it's tight. And then again, when there's just a little bit left, I'm going to take it and put just a little bit of glue on there. Bit of glue, twist it around, and twirl it a little bit on your finger as I twist, twist, twist. And again, you want to keep your fingers close. I move mine out of the way so you can see. Then one hand I'm twisting, the other hand I'm just kind of, or you can just kind of go like this. And now I have a couple of beads. All right, and you want to let that dry. It doesn't take a long time for it to dry, and then when it's dry, you're going to slide them off, and then you've got your beads. All right, so there's the beads. Now I want to show you how I made my bracelet. Again, if you have a stretchy cord, or you can even use a shoelace and make a necklace with it. But this is how I made my quick little bracelet, and it worked. So you can try this if you want to. So I used some twisty ties and a rubber band that I found in my drawer that were just like the twisty ties are from bread. The rubber band was probably from, I don't know, probably maybe some produce I got. I don't know where it came from actually. All right, so let me slide these off of here. This one doesn't want to come off. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm sliding these off so you can see how I put this together. And it worked, so I was pretty proud of myself. Now, one thing I tried that didn't work, you'll see in the picture down there, there were some, beads that I tried to make with tin foil because I was trying to make them a little shiny, and they didn't stay together. They kind of stretched apart. So I would say stick with paper. This tin foil is just too crumbly, even though it's shiny. All right, so what I did was I took one of those twisty ties and I made the loop, and I just wrapped it around one end of the rubber band. The rubber band's just so you can stretch to put the bracelet on, and then it snaps back, so it's, you know, not too loose and sort of adjustable. Like I said, mine was a little tight. Probably fit a kid better. And then this is the end where I strung the bead. So again, took the other twisty tie, made a little end piece here, and threaded those beads on like so, okay, and then pulled them down all the way down to the other side. Okay, so I took the bead, put it on there, thread it all the way down. Okay, and so I did that all the way to the top, and then when I was done, I just gave this a little bend to make a hook. Okay, so if you have any wire, it might look a little nicer than the twisty tie, or you might even want to take the plastic off the twisty tie. So any kind of thin wire. Another option might be to use a paper clip. That would work as well. So any wire that's thin enough to bend, but not so thin that it won't hold its shape once you bend it. And what I did before actually is I took this and I bent it around the dowel. So if it's hard to bend, you can bend it on something. Okay, and then once I got it all together, I was able to wear it. And so give paper bead making a try. You don't have to do the bracelet. They would make fun little necklaces or other sorts of garland. If you have other beads, you could string them along with other kinds of beads, and maybe you have a broken necklace or some pony beads or something like that. So give it a try. I thought it was kind of fun. Not that difficult to do. Again, you want to start with, grab a couple that I didn't finish. A long, skinny triangle is what you need to begin. You start rolling on this side, okay, and then you roll it all the way up until you get to the tip. And of course, at this point, you would put some glue on it. Okay, so give it a try. It makes a great gift once you've created something with those beads, whether it's a necklace or a bracelet or a garland. It's up to you. So have fun making some beads, and I'll see you next time. Bye.